Hi everyone, so today I thought we would do an updated gear video since it has been a while since the tier. So some of our gear is new and we are yet to try it, but as we go on hikes and stuff with it I will keep you updated if we like it or not. Hopefully we will like it because we've got some exciting new things. But yeah, it's just been a while, so I thought I'd do an updated video. We've also got this new little gear storage that you can see behind me. It is definitely a work in progress, but we are loving having a place to actually put all of our gear when we get back from trips, and I think we're looking after it better. But without me keep blabbing, let's get on with this gear video. Our current tent is the Gossamer Gear the 2, which, don't get me wrong, we really like. It is a good solid tent. However, as many of you may know, we loved our Dan Durston, and quite frankly, I don't think anything else is going to live up to that tent. That said, this tent has done us good. It's still a trekking pole tent, weighing in at just a kilo. It's relatively spacious inside, but I would say it does feel a little bit less roomy than our last tent was, but to be honest, we've just been spoiled with our Dan Durston. This tent is also single walled, which when we initially ordered it, I didn't realise how much condensation was going to be a total pain in the bum. Everything in the tent is wet through. That said, there is still a decent amount of ventilation and it has been a super durable little tent. Something to note when ordering this tent, if you're ordering from the UK or anywhere outside of the US for that matter, be aware that with any of the Gossamer Gear stuff in general, you do have to pay import tax to get it through customs. We didn't actually realise this until we got a £120 invoice off DPD just to get our tent, or else we were returning it to the US, making this tent way pricier than we initially thought it was going to be. No! On a little side note from that, whilst we're watching Clem, we've literally just bought the 3FUL King Kong tent. I don't have any videos of it as it literally came the other day after filming this video, but I kind of wanted to mention it because we didn't need to pay any fees on it. It came to $190 all in, which for a tent that's as light and as roomy as this one is insane. We've only done one night in it in the back garden so far, but it will be coming on plenty of adventures with us when we take Clem, so I will keep you updated on that. Speaking of 3FUL, let's move on to our backpacks. So we've both recently upgraded our packs, which I'm very excited about. I've just gone with this 3FUL pack, which I'm unfortunately yet to try, so I can't comment on it too much. But I got the Quidium Pro, which I think seems like the best one, but I honestly have no clue. I will link all the websites below, then you can have a proper look through yourself. But I'm sure many of you have recently started hearing about 3FUL for its ultralight hiking gear at an affordable price, which seems too good to be true. But this pack weighs only 880 grams, is made out of a super durable material with a bunch of huge pockets, which honestly I feel like they're gonna last great. It's also a roll top, which I'm obsessed with, but quite clearly struggling with here on this video. It's also frameless, which is why it looks like it has zero shape at this moment in time. Plus it comes with all the bells and whistles. And it cost me a whole £78. All in, no extra shipping, no extra fees. It's insane. It's also built with a pocket in the back for one of those foam sleeping mats, which I think will give it quite a bit more support. And it's probably needed to make the hip belt fit a little bit better, as I had it on the tightest setting and there was still a little bit of room in it. As for some reason, it just seems to be this model of pack, but it's a one size fits all. Now on to Jordan's pack. You might have seen this one in a few of our recent hikes, as he got it just before we did the Tour de Mont Blanc last summer. But after his last Osprey pack lasting so well from the TA, Jordan wanted to stick to Osprey for the time being and has upgraded his pack to the Osprey Rook 50. Which so far has been a super durable little pack. It is framed and weighs in at around 1.6. Again, it has a bunch of pockets and quite a breathable mesh back, which Jordan was wanting more so this time, along with the huge hip belt pockets that have come in very handy for storing snacks. It of course does come with the lifetime warranty that Osprey offer, which is amazing. One thing it doesn't have though, which I feel is worth mentioning, is a front pocket. It does have the little loops on the side so you could zigzag across a bungee and secure something that way. And it does also have the huge zip pocket on top. So for us it hasn't been a problem at all, but I do know some people love the little front pocket. On a little side note, we do still have both of our other backpacks, which we're still going to be using on certain trips. Jordan's being the Osprey Talon 44, which he's literally had since the start of the TA, and mine being this crappy Kmart one. In fact, I take that back, it's not crappy. This little guy is still going strong after a countless number of long distance trails, so big ups to Kmart on that one. I will link the last gear video if you are wanting any more info on those packs. Also, whilst on the topic of backpacks, how bloody cute is Clem's backpack from Roughwear. This is the Approach one. We were between that and the Palisades pack, which I think we'll eventually upgrade it to. But for now, as we're still getting used to it, we got this one second hand off Marketplace, which as you can see, after a couple of uses, is already absolutely filthy. But the fact that it's orange is a win-win. For extra baggage if we need it, I've been taking this Patagonia bum bag on pretty much all of our recent trips, usually just to carry my phone and stuff that I want to access quickly. But now I've got the 3FUL pack with the massive hip belt pockets. I may or may not be using this guy for hiking as much anymore. For Jordan, he uses this Osprey chest rig, which he absolutely loves. It's got so much space, so many pockets, and it means that we can put all of our essential stuff in there, snacks included. And also, if you get one of these, you become part of this like chest bag club, where you instantly make friends with anyone else on trail that has one. For our sleeping arrangements, honestly these haven't really changed much since the TA, so they're in desperate need of updating. I think new sleeping bags will definitely be on the cards this year, so any recommendations would be very greatly appreciated. Anyway, our current sleeping bags are these synthetic Sea to Summit ones, which we have had forever, but honestly they do the job and we have no real complaints with them at all. Maybe something slightly lighter and less bulky would be ideal, and I think maybe we'll go for a down one this time. But overall, these have been really decent little sleeping bags. Mine is the Quest 1, weighing in at just over a kilo with a comfort rating of 3 degrees, and Jordan's is the Trailhead 2, again weighing in at just over a kilo, but with a comfort rating of -1. Since building this little gear store, we now hang them up so they can air out and aren't all squished, but usually they come in these little sacks that we now use to carry our food. And instead we use the Sea to Summit compression bags to store them in, which massively reduces their size, so a really great thing to have. For sleeping pads, Jordan has just got this Flextail Zero R05 mattress, which he got to try out on our night camping in the garden, and seems to be pretty happy with it. It's a 4-season sleeping pad with an R value of 5.6, weighing in at just 500 grams, which for a £100 sleeping bag is absolutely insane. And that's with free shipping and no import fees, so I would definitely be upgrading to one of these for our winter camps. But for now, my Exped AirMat Lite 5 does the job really well and has lasted me great since the TA. However, it is only really a summer sleeping mat with an R value of just 1.3. It does also weigh in at 500 grams, so if you are mainly a summer camper, then it's a pretty neat little pad for just 59 quid. Also, with Jordan's new Flextail, we added the Zero pump, which as you can see is the world's smallest air pump. Weighing only 34 grams, it's compatible with pretty much any brand of sleeping pad and comes with all of the relevant attachments, meaning that you can blow up your pad without any moisture getting inside and deteriorating its life. This is definitely a new essential for us.
I know. You always come at the worst time. Right, enough. Leave it. Thank you.
Okay, on to trekking poles. We use the Black Diamond Ergo Corks. We've had these for a little while now and we really like them. Again, lasting us since the TA and are super comfy. We've had cheaper trekking poles before where the strap is a little bit rougher and it's just not comfy at all. These poles also use the flick lock system, which I would highly recommend if you are using a trekking pole tent. As we've had the twisty ones before and they failed on us completely at Brewster Glacier. lighter. Luckily, we were hiking with a friend that had way more reliable trekking poles, otherwise it would have been an absolute nightmare. Another essential that obviously had to play a very key part in this video is the Zpacks Lotus Ultralight Brolly. Weighing in at just 192 grams, this guy has your back rain or shine and has become a very key member of Jordan's hiking kit. I've also just seen online that you can now get a little holder for it, so I think that might be next on the cards. On to the good stuff, starting with food. For cooking, we love our Jetboil. This is the one without the self-ignition because we're just not that bougie. So we always need to remember to carry a lighter and a spare, just in case. Obviously not one of this size, but apparently this is the only one I can find in our house. If for some reason the Jetboil wasn't with us, we do have this little backup screw stovetop. Is that what they're called? I think it's a pocket rocket actually, I don't know. Anyway, this one again has been with us since the TA and has never once let us down. It's super small, super compact and literally just screws onto the gas, which these days we just take a small one and it sees us through, as well as fitting into the Jetboil pot, which is extremely handy. We've also started taking a sponge to clean our pots with too. Whilst on the topic of food, we've been loving these freeze-dried Huel instant meals, and at £18 a bag, these beauties work out at just £2.66 per meal, which compared to the usual freeze-dried backpacking meals is a bloody bargain. They're all nutritionally complete, whole food, vegan, and come in a bunch of banging flavours. This one being Cajun pasta. Also, I'm pretty sure on your first order you get like a free t-shirt and a pot. So that we can actually eat these meals, we have for some reason 3 sporks. One for me, one for Jordan, and a recent addition that is now a spare. On to my favourite meal of the day, coffee. Recently I've been loving taking coffee bags, not usually this decaf one, but that's all I have to hand. These are great though, light, tasty and just genuinely good coffee. And it saves so much space and mess from the days of me taking my AeroPress, which sounds insane I know, but I just like a good coffee. And also actually for anyone who prefers coffee with milk, these little coffee sachets used to be relatively decent too. And as you can see, this one has been on quite a few trips with us and hasn't been used yet. For water, we use the Soya Squeeze Mini, which we've been using forever. It comes in a bunch of different colours, is super lightweight and it filters out pretty much any bacteria and microplastics, meaning you can drink the water out of that river over there without having to worry. It comes with a squeezable pouch to put the unfiltered water in, which to be honest, each one we've got has ended up splitting at the top. This is the first one that hasn't, but we probably also don't use it enough for it to split, and instead just use a regular smart water bottle, which also doubles its use for our electrolytes at the end of the day. For water bladders, I have the Osprey 2.5 litre, which I barely fill to the top, purely down to weight, but it has been an epic little bladder. I've since replaced the top pipe and the drinking nozzle, as I didn't keep the other ones super clean, and in fairness, I have also had since the TA. But the sliding close top makes it super easy to fill up, even whilst it's in your pack, if you're careful enough.
And now my bag is flooded.
For Jordan's, he uses the EcoStream 2 litre, which he's also had for a bit and it serves its purpose well, although this one has the regular twisting lid, which can be a bit of a pain to put it on right. It just depends on the day. Starting with our main bit of kit, the camera that captures all of our adventures for you, the Canon M50 Mark II. This is a more recent addition for us from the SX740 that we used to use, but so far it has been mint. Not gonna lie, I'm still getting used to all of the different settings, but the main reason for choosing this camera was us wanting to upgrade to a DSLR. I mean, I say us, it was really me. But a camera that shoots in manual video without being super bulky and heavy was just what we needed, and I love it. We just use the standard 18 to 50mm lens with the Rode Video Go mic on top to hopefully filter out some of the wind noise. You can actually get a smaller version of this mic, which would be ideal for hiking, but this one does the job for now. We also take 2 camera batteries, the relevant chargers, and a bunch of different SD cards to capture it up, stored in this Peak Designs drawstring bag that I usually line with a Ziploc or bubble wrap to keep it semi-dry. To hold the camera whilst we're hiking, we have the Peak Designs camera clip, which, not gonna lie, isn't the cheapest, but it's so worth the investment when it's literally holding your camera. I've had to attach ours to this little strap on my pack as the shoulder straps are a little bit too wide and padded, which is definitely something to note, but usually you can pretty much screw it onto anything, and it has a little release button for when you want to get the camera off, so it's quick and easy while hiking. One of the most important electricals that we carry is our Garmin InReach. This one is the Explorer Plus, which we've had since the start of the tier, as you can tell by that lovely scratch that is right through the screen. We chose this over a standard PLB basically so we could use it anywhere in the world and it's not just single use. It has a little clip on the back to slot onto your pack, or as we usually use, a carabiner that just clips onto the front of Jordan's pack. It does, however, require a subscription to use all of the features, which we tend to get before most trips so we can send text messages, check the weather and do all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure that a subscription isn't required for the SOS, but I would definitely double check that before venturing out on any trip, since these devices can literally be a lifeline. Another important bit of kit is our head torches, mine being this Energizer head torch that I literally just got from the supermarket and it's actually pretty banging. It's super bright, which you'll just have to believe me on as there were no batteries in it. It's also adjustable and has so far served me very well. For Jordan, he uses the Black Diamond Storm 450 head torch, which again we've had since the tier, and it's never once let us down. It has multiple brightnesses and also a red light, I think, for if you're looking for wildlife. I could be lying, but that's basically all that we've used it for. To power these, we take a couple of sets of AAA batteries plus spares that I was honestly having a hard time showing you, all stored in this very waterproof bag that apparently now has a hole in it. To power everything, we take an array of plugs, chargers, USBs and adapters if we're heading abroad. We also take our phones, some headphones and a power bank to charge everything up for when we're in the wild. This one is the Majorque 20,000 mAh and apart from taking ages to charge up, is mint. For some reason the screen keeps going funny on camera, but it is actually all good in real life. Okay, toilet stuffs. We usually bring toilet paper, obviously, a trowel for number 2s so you can go for and dig deep, and hand sanitizer to clean up once the job is done. All of it is contained in this very premium Ziploc bag. For toiletries, we have an array of mini sun creams, Factor 30 and Factor 50, and usually a small tube of aloe vera that again I couldn't find. We also take full-size toothbrushes, which no longer get cut in half since we're multi-day hikers now. We're a different breed of hiker. We also take mini toothpaste to go with the toothbrush, obviously, not even sure why I'm explaining everything, it's just toothpaste. We also carry a first aid kit filled with plasters that, as you can see, went absolutely everywhere. This is actually our spare first aid kit, hence there not being that much in it. This is the main man, as you can tell by the lovely hole that we have in the side. Again, it's filled with plasters, ibuprofen, paracetamol, antihistamines and all of the essentials. There's usually also some blister plasters, KT tape, which as you can see we use a lot, and this very handy Savlon plaster. Highly recommend that. Also first aid wise, since being back in the UK, we've recently started taking tick repellent and tweezers, which has come in handy a couple of times and will definitely be needed when we go hiking with Clem. To smell nice, we take deodorant, a very luxury item in the world of thru hiking. Although I've recently found this one by the brand Wild and I'm obsessed with it. It's super small, weighs next to nothing and is all eco-friendly. This one's in the flavour? Scent? Anyway, the scent is Thunderstorm and I really like it. Sometimes I also take this smidgy perfume just to smell nice on town days. We also take a mini body wash, which is usually wilderness wash unless we're staying in accommodation the whole trip and not camping. And if we are camping and can't be bothered with the whole washing in a river thing, which is usually me because I don't really want to get cold, we freshen up either with a pack of wet wipes or this dry wash stuff, which is honestly a game changer. It's basically like hand sanitizer where it dries in after a few seconds and it smells like lemons, so win-win all around really. We also take a little shampoo, conditioner, cleanser, toner, moisturizer and sometimes this little spray hair treatment. because again, why not? I also take some spare hair ties and usually a little hairbrush, which sadly I lost on the Gozo Coastal Trail, so I will definitely need to invest in a new one of those. Another recent addition that I'm obsessed with has been this little SPF 50 lip balm which we got on the Tour de Mont Blanc in Switzerland. I would have absolutely no idea where else you can buy it from, but this one's from the brand Sherpa. I'm sure there's a bunch of others on the market though. Some other random little extras that we sometimes take with us are multivitamins, a nail file, a nail kit with spare tweezers and mini scissors in, and some sanitary towels for the females. So what have we been wearing? Starting with base layers, we both have the same OEX Borneo base layer. We did get them in boys and girls, but they look exactly the same and have no indication as to which is which, but they all seem to fit the same. Next up we have these quarter length? Is that a thing? Maybe the knee length. Anyway, these are Jordan's shorts from Northridge that he usually alternates with a pair of lightweight gym shorts and these Montane hiking pants that he loves. For me, I pretty much live in these Montane shorts on the trail that have sadly started to lose their logo. On colder days, it usually tends to be leggings, although I've recently got these mountain equipment hiking pants, which I am very excited to try. For tops, we both usually take a couple of lightweight t-shirts, a long sleeve and a lightweight fleece that we can hike in. We both have these Rab Nexus ones that have so far been a really great mid-layer. When it's a little colder or we want to cozy up at night, I like to take this Salua fleece, which is so cozy and so warm. I initially got it for our trip to Norway and was pretty much sweating the whole time despite the fact that it was snowing, so an epic little fleece for some winter camps. Jordan's version of this that he also got for Norway is this retro Columbia fleece, which again is super cozy, super warm and will be great for all of our winter adventures. On to jackets. Jordan's main down jacket is the Macpac Halo hooded down jacket that's super squishy and super cozy. And then for warmer summer adventures, he tends to take this lightweight Columbia down jacket. Also from Columbia, he's basically a Columbia rep at this point. He has the men's Loop Trail 2 that he uses mainly as a windbreaker, but it is also water resistant and sun protecting. Speaking of sun protection, Jordan usually also packs an array of hats. A baseball cap that I would say he wears 99% of the time, a sun hat that I probably wear more these days, and this fleecy Macpac hat for keeping warm at night, who also goes by the name Check. For me, I have the Northridge Women Tech Down 2 jacket that I love. Again, it's super cozy and super squishy. For the rain, I've recently upgraded to this North Face waterproof that so far I really like. It weirdly went off for me the first time I wore it in the rain, but since then it's been fine and I'm yet to get wet. For bed, I usually wear either a hoodie or a fleece depending on the trip and where we're going, paired with some comfy leggings, fluffy socks and a beanie if it's chilly, along with these gorgeous camp shoes that also double as river crossing shoes. And whilst we're on footwear, we both usually take a bunch of various hiking socks, and of course, we couldn't do a hiking trip without shoes. More specifically, trail runners, which we've recently upgraded to some Ultra Lone Peak 6. We have finally joined the club along with every other thru hiker, and I can see why these are so popular actually. They're a real decent pair of trail runners. It feels like they're built to last pretty good and have so far been very comfy. They also have the little velcro at the back for the ultra ankle gaiters to attach to. All of these clothes are packed into these little cubes that double at night as our pillows, usually with our towels on top for that extra comfort. These are the towels that we've had literally since we started backpacking around Asia. They're both microfiber, making them super lightweight and dry really quickly. So these have definitely lasted us very, very well. Other uncategorised stuff that we take is a pack liner for if the rain's torrential, which usually consists of a bin bag inside and a pack cover for the outside. Also a selection of dry bags and stuff sacks that we usually use for carrying our food, electricals and any other bits and bobs. Last winter, we invested in these Katula microspikes so we can go on more winter adventures. We've only used these once so far on a weekend in the Lake District and I'd say they were pretty good. The guy said these were the best ones, so that's what we got. Mine obviously being the green ones and Jordan's the red. We've recently also been taking a paper map. If you give me a sec to figure out where this one's from. Oh, this one's from the Gozo Coastal Trail. The videos for that will be coming very, very soon, straight after this one, I promise. I also like to take a reading book, usually one that's a lot smaller than this. But on that note, if anyone hasn't read this book yet, I would highly, highly recommend it. I also usually take a little paper book for drawing, journaling, note taking, whatever floats my boat at the time. Again, it's usually about a quarter of the size of this, and our passports for if we're hiking abroad. Also, randomly, we do have these Delta pegs, which are meant to be the best wild weather pegs on the market. Had we known they were going to be as big as this, we probably wouldn't have ordered them. But there you go, we haven't really tried them yet. Two other things that I also completely missed off earlier is that we also take this twisty washing line that you don't need pegs for, which honestly is kind of a game changer. We just peg it across our tent so we can hang up like wet socks or like anything that needs to dry. So a real good little thing to take. And of course, a pair of cute sunnies.